It's working. All right, guys. All right. Welcome to our channel. Welcome to How to Party Sober on YouTube. This is a channel that I am starting with my buddy, very good friend of mine, Dan. Uh, and we actually didn't meet that long ago, but we kind of hit it off pretty quick. And we're both on a very similar path when it comes to spirituality and building our social skills, building our charisma, and just general self development, and just becoming awesome dudes. So we wanted to start this channel as a way to sort of have a landing page for our ideas, and sort of see if we can offer some value to other people who are sort of going through similar self development journeys and are into the same kind of stuff. And yeah, hopefully this is like a relatable channel for you guys. We're definitely not coming at this from like any place of ego at all. Like this is, I think it's both of our first times ever like vlogging, so it's gonna be a learning experience for us. But um, yeah, hopefully we can grow this thing, and we'll see where it goes. So the first concept that I want to bring up for this channel is something I've been thinking a lot about lately, and it's the paradox of self development. So, the paradox of self development, what do I mean by that? Um, so, I'm admittedly a very huge self development junkie. It's something I like just lately meaning like the past like 3 years, I've become very passionate about, and just the overall idea that you can create a version of yourself that's better than where you are today. I think is like a really cool idea, just objectively. This idea that like we're not stuck to be um, as we were born or as we were even raised or brought up or programmed by society or family or whatever you want to attribute it to, but you really have this idea to improve yourself. And I have a lot of examples just in the past 3 years of sort of getting into this stuff where in different areas, I ingested some content, I put it into action, and it worked. I got like results. Um, so I really do love self development as a field, but I think there are two really big dangers there too, in self development, that if you don't process it objectively the right way, um, you can sort of fall into these two traps. And and I'm totally speaking from experience. Like these are two things that I've been guilty of, falling into both of these traps in the past. So, and I think if you do sort of slip into these two things, they can actually take you farther away from whatever goals that you sort of might have more that would have motivated you to start off on the self development journey in the first place. So the first one is this idea of self development perpetuating a sense of unworthiness. So it's sort of this idea that, like let's say you're looking for content on the internet for how to become more charismatic. So even if it's coming from like a really good place, like obviously like wanting to become more charismatic is a very noble goal that everybody can and should work on. It's a really like valuable life skill, and if you have the humility to actually feel like that's something you want to improve on, like that's a great goal. But there's also the flip side of that, where if you are somebody who is googling in how to become more charismatic, then at some subconscious level, there's some part of you that believes that you are not enough as you are right now, that you are not charismatic enough right now. And that might be objectively true, or I guess there's no way to say if that's objectively true, but that might be subjectively true by the opinions of the masses, which is maybe you've gotten some feedback and that's why you want to become more charismatic. Again, very noble goal, but there is a presupposition that you're not enough. And I think there's a really fine line between having the humility to understand that there are things you can work on, and then crossing over into negative self-talk, self-doubt, lowered self-efficacy about your abilities. And I think it can really affect your worthiness about getting what you want in life. And if you fall into that cycle of feeling like in order to develop yourself, you need to just get more and more information and get more and more content, then you start to just add these layers onto yourself, onto your personality, and it can become really easy to sort of forget about like who the fuck you actually are at your core. Um, so yeah, I think that can be a kind of a dangerous cycle if you're not conscious of it, and it's definitely something that I've fallen into. Like even recently, I've been really working on just being a better listener, being a more engaged listener. Like active listening is kind of like a buzzword that everybody talks about, and I've picked up some good tips and I've improved, but there was definitely a period where I was feeling like, oh, if I don't read the next like blog about like how to be a good listener, then like my next conversation, like not gonna be able to pay attention, and that's just like stupid. Like like you got to sort of have like a baseline level of like faith in your abilities. Um, so yeah, so the second I think paradoxical danger of taking in a lot of self-development content is it can become a really strong procrastination tool. So a lot of times when you're reading an article about self-development, or you're watching a video, or you're listening to a podcast, or whatever form of content it might be, a lot of times people do it because it gives you an endorphin boost. It literally gives you that good, empowered, motivated feeling by telling your brain what it wants to hear. So like I know, like personally, I've rewatched a lot of videos over and over again when I'm feeling down, like maybe when I'm not feeling so hot on a day, because I want to reinforce the positive mindsets and emotions that those videos trigger in me. And that's totally fine, and like within reason is a healthy thing to do. Obviously, like that's why they're made. That's what they're there for. And like the creators of those videos they made those videos with the intention of providing that value. So it's good that people are taking advantage of it. But I think the problem is a lot of times that feeling that you're getting from that video is the same feeling that taking an action in your real life, like not on the internet, not in front of your computer, but like actually leave your house and go take an action. It's the same feeling that taking that action would have given you. But instead of getting it from taking an action in real life, you're training yourself to just get it from the video. And it's not actually your own action that's giving you that feeling. And I think that's dangerous because, in my personal opinion, anytime you're trying to rewire a belief in your brain or upgrade a mindset, the only way to really build that like rock solid, unshakable foundation of that belief is to have a huge collection of reference experiences from your own life. No matter how, like, it needs to be things that you have done. No matter how much content you've ingested telling you that this is the belief, this is the belief, this is the belief. If you don't have those experiences in your own life saying that, yes, I can objectively look back and say that this is what I believe, or that I'm worthy of this, then it's kind of a Band-Aid solution to just rely on these videos. Because what's going to happen when you're not feeling so great one day, and what are you going to do? Like pull up the video on your phone in a situation that challenges your old belief? No, like you need to have those reference experiences that really give you that rock solid understanding. So how do you keep absorbing self-development material, but in a healthy, objective way, so that you're not falling prey to these two dangers? So you're not actually lowering your self-esteem by feeling like you're not enough and feeling like you just need to keep watching more and more videos, or you're not becoming lazy and complacent and unmotivated to actually take action, and then just watching more and more videos and getting that sort of like feeling that you would have gotten from taking action just from sitting at your computer and watching a video. how do you sort of avoid these pitfalls of self-development? In my opinion, the solution to both of these issues is to unattach yourself from whatever you expect to get out of your self-development journey. That sounds really counterintuitive, but what I mean by that is instead of anchoring your happiness or self-satisfaction to how good of results that you're getting, you should anchor it to taking little action steps every day that allow you to exercise and personally experience the concepts and ideas that you're taking in from watching these videos, from reading these books and articles and listening to podcasts. And that way you're actually working on it like a muscle. I mean, it's kind of similar to like reading a PDF about working out and then not going and working out. Like how are you going to get in shape? Like you got to actually go do it. So, but the key though is just not being attached to the results. And what that allows you to do is you break free from this cycle of judging yourself every time things don't go perfectly well, or every time you, let's say, watch a video that says, okay, to be charismatic, you have to do this, this, and this. And then you go and then maybe you freeze up in a situation, you forget to do all those things that the video told you. If you're going to judge yourself every time that happens, it's just going to be like a really demoralizing, slow road to your self-development goals, whatever they might be. So if you can recalibrate and anchor your happiness and satisfaction to just the fact that you took action, then I think you're going to not only just be generally a lot happier day to day, but you're not going to fall prey to these pitfalls. So, that way when you do watch that video that gets you really pumped up, you'll be more inspired to actually go out there, like get out of your house and take a step rather than procrastinate, because you've conditioned yourself where taking the action is what makes you happy. Not the video, not the result that you might get, just taking the action. And so, yeah, I think it's a habit that you have to build for sure. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. But in my opinion, personally, after falling victim to both of these traps, not only feeling unworthy and feeling like I need to just layer on more and more content to build up my personality to a point where I'm like ready to finally take action, and also getting lazy about it and just getting complacent and watching video after video, I really feel like the solution for me has been to anchor my happiness from the action taking, not from the results. That way I don't judge myself, and I'm also not sitting in my apartment too scared or unmotivated to actually go out and do something. So yeah, I really think this is the best way to process your process, so to speak, whatever self-development journey that you're on, or goals that you might have. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this one. So that was kind of a ramble, but this is my first vlog, and yeah, hopefully this will get better. But it was pretty good, I think. I don't know. If you guys watched this, leave some comments. If you loved it, if you hated it, let me know. Either's good. So yeah, that's it. I think Dan is gonna do one on either Wednesday or Thursday, and we'll keep this rolling. Peace.